Well, the Calgary Real Estate Board has released the latest home sales stats. RE/MAX's Sam Correa is here to break them down. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get into that, though, RE/MAX honoring its best at an event in Las Vegas last weekend. Sam, top 10 for you in Canada again. Top sales in Alberta. How long has that been?
Oh, 8 years in a row, I think.
Congratulations
Thank
for
you.
that. There will be realtors at home that are asking the question, how do you do that? How do you stay, in that echelon, and how have you done it for so long?
Well, consistency is key. And certainly that's in the tough market. A lot of people are cutting back on their marketing campaign and their budgets. And certainly to be consistent, you can't do that. And aligning myself with my top clients all the time is, people that aren't influenced by a blip in the market, that can certainly make the decisions based on their lifestyle and when it's ready to enter the market, is always what kind of pulls me through every market.
So biggest piece of advice for a new realtor just getting into the business?
You have to have a campaign. And you have to stick with it and be consistent, whatever your budget is. If it's $5,000 or $300,000, you can't pull back with the market. You've got to have a plan and stick with it.
Maintain that regardless of what's going on with oil and gas. Okay, let's talk about these house numbers. We've got a couple heat maps that we're going to just do a comparison from this month to last month. There it is there. Now, for folks who haven't seen these heat maps before, the red indicates the closer to actual list price that it's been sold. If it's very red, it means that it could have potentially sold, I guess, for above list price. And the sort of more muted the colors get when you get into the yellows, that means it's pretty competitive bidding, bringing down the price, or not competitive bidding, I guess, bringing down the price. So we're seeing a lot less red this month compared to January, Sam.
We have seen a bit of a shift, which I find quite fascinating, from January sales to February sales. You'll see the biggest difference this month in February is areas that are receiving 90 to 92% of the list price are areas that were last month closer to 98 to 100%. And those areas, of course, are right in yellow, and they're areas, for example, from Evergreen through to Kenya Meadows, right to the newer Cranston kind of areas.
So that belt across the south has really dropped off, but interesting, still some strong sales happening, sort of Auburn Bay and some of those newer areas at the very bottom there, at the very south. Absolutely.
As I mentioned before, this is an unusual thing to see when the market turns. Historically, the suburbs do drop first, but we are seeing Auburn Bay and some of the really new districts holding really close to list price. A lot of the new home builders are pricing their properties pretty appropriately for the market, and they're selling at 98 to 100% of the list price. The new hospital down south is certainly creating a bit of demand for that area.
It's interesting. We have for the past month or so that despite sort of some of the doom and gloom talk that is out there, you're still seeing competitive bids happening. You're still seeing properties sell for above the list price. One of the homes that I think we showed this last week, the house in Spring Valley, is a good example of that.
Yes, it was 1.395 as a list price, and it sold, I believe, officially within 2 weeks at 1.45,000. So like just over $6,500 over the list price. Again, that's not something you would think would happen, but they got over list,
right,
which was great.
And once again, bucking that trend of that's a home on the perimeter of the city.
Yeah, it's in Springbank Hill there, as you can see, and the red there where the arrow is. It's certainly that sale bumped up the district sales from yellow last month to a pink and almost red scenario.
Yeah, another example of a place of strength in the market is actually, and maybe surprisingly, in the super sort of high-end property area. We're still seeing some strength there.
Yeah, this is courtesy of RE/MAX Central. Donna Rooney and Gary Cronin sold this property. It was sold this week at $5.2 million. And that's a big sale for our city this year.
And do you expect to see those types of sales remain strong despite, you were talking a little bit when we were asking you about your success in real estate, and one of them was that there are clients out there who are not as dependent on the dips. Is that where we'll see some of those sales remain strong, do you think?
Well, this area in Britannia has seen 3 sales this year over $3 million, over $2 million, I believe. And one of the last sales on this street, interesting enough, was about a year and a half ago, sold for $1 million over the list price, if you can imagine. And certainly we're not seeing that today, but quite a notable sale over $1 million over the list price, which was pretty fascinating.
Very interesting stuff. Appreciate you breaking down the numbers. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Top agent in Alberta and remain top
much.
10 in Canada. So great stuff. RE/MAX's Sam Correa, and for more information, you can head to samcorrea.ca.
The Market, sponsored by Sam Correa of RE/MAX House of Real Estate.